The wagons supported the Great Jerusalem. It was built 1809. The Turk Ottoman ruler of the country built it. It's made of marble, limestone, and even the local stone.
Gate.
The right of
The clock tower built in 1901 by the Turkish Sultan. And this is the old jailhouse.
Renovated. Usually the paint is white, you know.
Downtown Tel Aviv.
Sinai Peninsula. But we gave it back when we signed. So he was suspicious all his life. And very, as I said, very, very controversial.
Mount of Olives.
Wrapped in cloth and had him circumcised. Had him named. A month later they came back to the priest with Joseph and they went to the priest and said, this is our son, but because Abraham now they redeemed him. Many times he journeyed either over the mountain.
The golden domes of the mount. These are all historic sites associated with the life of Jesus. This is Mount of Olives. The wall.
This is the only one that's close to it. And they closed it a long time ago in all the brown. This is more or less. And this was heavily wooded.
The teardrop
But now, not much rain.
church.
This is the reason for it.
The teardrop church, shaped in the shaped like a tear because Jesus wept over the pending destruction of Jerusalem. It happened 40 years after Jesus wept. Jesus wept on 10 AD and the Jerusalem was destroyed on 40 AD. The old Jewish cemetery which was later on taken over by the Arabs and vandalized.
From the grave and put it and to build this.
Ashuri or bone box.
Father,
The
I go and
massive
talk
floor.
to them. You just change.
Profaned church. One of Jesus' disciples.
Yes.
This is the Golden Muslim 335. Helena, his mother came here and she located the important sites in Jerusalem. Started with the arrival of the Crusaders and they took the country for 200 years. And then they were forced to leave because the Muslims killed them. In those days, it was beautiful days for the Great Dome. The Great Dome of the Holy Sepulchre. The Muslim.
The Golden Dome is from the 7th century.
The Malik of the century and the beginning of the 8th century. Of the Malik and of the.
Is it slippery here? It's not slippery. It's the same as this lovely way, but it's
Gethsemane. Gethsemane is from the Hebrew is Gachmanim. Gachmanim is oils. Where they used to make oil press. Where they used to make oil. That garden. It's beautiful inside, but it's the end. And he betrayed.
The building, this is where Jesus was betrayed by Judas.
That's what I was saying. He's not so different.
Is the one in agony. Jesus in agony with the angel. This is the picture of the Romans coming to take Jesus away after Judas with the angel guarding him at the top in the back.
Jesus in agony. Judas kissing Jesus to identify him for the Romans. Old flooring. Built in 1538. Jesus spent the last moments before his death in this church.
You can take him off of this point.
Pomegranate. What was the Muslim quarter?
What's the arch? You see arch? Believe it or not, but that arch from the 2nd century, which is 1800 years ago.
Where because
Version number what? Version number 2 is here.
Echo Homo arch. This is very simple
He said,
death.
here's your man.
One of them is here. Collaboration. Architectural style. You see these cushions? Very, very.
Church of Condemnation. Yes. Women of Jerusalem mourning. It's from the Byzantine times, 1500 years ago. This was the called Carva in Roman times. That is the main road going from north to south. This is the third station.
That's the one where Jesus meets his mother.
This is where Jesus meets his mother. Going to the fifth station where Jesus was crucified. This is the Muslim quarter with a lot of shops.
The neighborhood's garbage. So if you go inside, there's a way to show you. You remember the session of the team? The end of the session, larger secretary. Because of the pilgrims that used to come 3 times a year. Jews. Until to be able to free it. And
This is the Jewish quarter.
they pray for, they wish for.
You can ride it.
Remember the two great donkeys that we saw?
The Church of Holy Sepulchre.
Called Calvary or the Balta. It's here behind. You see the brown bars, the iron bars. Behind you, we're going to go there. But first, before that, so the first church was built here to commemorate Jesus' death by Helena the 4th century. Over the time, this church was destroyed by invaders, Muslims, earthquakes, and the last, you will see the now inside,
Where Jesus was crucified.
the Crusaders came from Europe, and here there was strict
Churches fight written out here.
Remember the red road and the crown of thorns? It was stripped out of it, and then he was taken to the next station, church number 11, where he was nailed to the cross by 3 nails, and the third for the 2 legs, like that. And believe me, it's a very cruel way to die. This was the Romans' way to kill people.
The bedrock where Jesus fell down after crucifixion.
Jaffa Gate. Remember, I met
Jaffa Gate. This gate was built in 1538. We are entering Bethlehem. Entry is prohibited for Israeli citizens because 2/3 of the population of Bethlehem is Muslim Palestinians. It's one of the 7 autonomous regions. Church of Nativity.
This part is the Armenian, the next is Greek.
This is Armenian, and this part is Greek, Coptic.
people who would help the poor, blessing people who would be cursed for their followers. The Byzantine era, when Christianity has been flourished from 326 until 640. Most of the churches, they were built with the octagonal shapes, like 8-sided churches. And luckily, after 200 years, 529, the Samaritans invaded the Holy Land. They destroyed the Church of the Nativity, and this part belongs to the Greek Orthodox community, and on Danube, the Sikh part. Okay, we go from here. Yes. Whenever you find a place a baby, tell me so. Okay, so here, the Holy Family lived.
This is where Jesus was born. And this is where he lived also. This is the area where Jesus lived. It was a barn.
Like a monastic area for visitors who reached back and they wanted to live in a they wanted to Jerome. He comes from Qur'an. The broken bones, the skeletons of the babies, they were collected in Bethlehem and they were buried in 3 tombs. So this is having those was a little area, just like a mountain. Underground there was his humble, he was born in Bethlehem as the Bible stated, but he was related to Bethlehem. That was supposed to be born in humble, place in a manger to teach the human race a lesson of humbleness. As I mentioned, First book of Samuel, chapter 16, we read the younger son. And he said, yes, he was the younger, but he's now with the sheep. He's abiding after. Then he said, bring this son to me. I just would love to see his face. And when prophet said, like 800 years old. This is from the Crusaders' time. This is the statue of Saint Jerome, the one that I told you. Okay? With the Vulgata in his hand, a Latin copy of it. Now, we come from here, ladies and gentlemen. From the Greek Orthodox community perspective, from the Eastern churches, he is considered the greatest martyr in Christianity. Okay? He died and he's killing the dragon, which is symbolic for evil spirits in life.
What is symbolic? The menorah.
They have their own menorah.
Knesset, or the Israeli parliament. View from near the Knesset. A model of Jerusalem at the time of Jesus Christ.
Before returning home, filled it with earth and made it what is that still exists today. And it's social, and that's why of the Jews.
Back wall is the west wall.
So this is now, we're now looking for the east, and this is
the side of the temple that you see over here to the left, that is roofed by red tile, it was dedicated
and here
View of residential area in the second temple time.
This was Herod's palace.
This is the Jaffa Gate.
Jaffa Tor is before the half very different wars. This is the inner wall was in the time of Herod over there, and the second temple. This wall is now see. This is the wall.
This is where Jesus was.
Model of Jerusalem at the time of Jesus Christ. This is the lid of the jar which contained the Dead Sea Scrolls by the Dead Sea. The lid of the jar which contained the Dead Sea Scrolls. It describes the lifestyle of the group which was different from the mainstream Judaism, and in a script which is very similar to Hebrew.
Deutschland is above all, and they have given a lot of good things to these days. Wise and clever people choose innocently.
Sunshine on that building.
I'm taking a round, okay? I'm not taking one spot. The Holocaust Museum.
In front of us and below us, this is we call it the seat of
That Warsaw Square.
It's dark and somber.
The Holocaust Museum, another building. The memorial.
Holocaust survivors, Abe and Rita Spiegel, they lost their son, Uziel, in the Holocaust. On his look at this sculpture, statue. In Warsaw, there was an orphanage, Jewish orphanage, managed by a Jewish educator. Classification is 15 in the world. We are the first in the world that introduced the dripping system. Dripping system with those, with the black water, especially in our Netherlands. We spoke about another religion that we have the Muslims here. We have. The story of
see all the transportation.
We are in Jaffa.
Okay, we are on one of the summits of the Carmel Ridge. It's a range of
Carmel Ridge.
early beginning of the 20th century.
This is called the Valley of the Armageddon.
And believe it or not, you can see the runways of one of us. According to John,
Transfiguration of Christ happened
the
here.
battle of the end of the days will occur here, to take place in his. The east is here, Jordan River, and Jordan, the
And down below here, according to the
There's a woman called Jezebel.
There's
a wicked woman.
This point over here. That's the place where
And she wanted to introduce
The church in the Valley of Armageddon, this church was established to commemorate the slaying of non-believers by Prophet Elijah. Group's Muslim village.
אז אני עובד עליה גם. אני שברגי כאילו יודע שתום משהו. אני יוצא בשש, שבע תושב.
We will stand above the Baha'i Garden in the 30s because they had an oil pipeline coming from Iraq. They terminated here. And during
This is a Haifa port on the Mediterranean.
Fuel.
This is the location of the Baha'i temple.
Britain ruled the country. And this is the Baha'i Garden to see if you want to see.
It's a Baha'i garden. No, I won't go down. I'm happy to stay where it is.
The Baha'i garden.
This is the garden. This one?
The founder.
One minute. Please.
Who's the golden?
Are they going to walk right to there?
Baha'i shrine.
Okay, you see the shrine, the golden shrine, the founder that was executed 1850 in Persia, Iran, and buried inside that shrine. Yeah. We have three classes.
Farouk's house lang natin.
The cruise.
They were from Germany. They have both sides of the road. The road in between the main boulevard.
Church of Annunciation in Lower Nazareth. Church of Annunciation.
Scenes from the life of Jesus. Figures from the Bible. Figures from the And we start with that door. I wonder. This text from he presumed he is studying to be a carpenter like his father in the Sea of Galilee, because he gathered his disciples and even
Church of Initiation.
I'm not strong enough to make you my machine today.
Israeli construction. The local workers were all the Italian marble, Italian materials. You see here the mosaic. All the
Mosaic.
from different countries. See each continent has the water even inside. The inner dome, and you see on the windows, Ave Maria, Ave Maria, the Madonna.
These are pictures of mosaic tiles of Mary from different countries depicted in their home side.
I think
The barn, perhaps. Also this barn. Japanese or Chinese or something. Or Indian.
this is from Velangandi, India.
Here, sir, you have to see the gift of Germany. There was no space inside the older village.
Distance and then the temple was built over these Amikal Korale very later outside.
The remnants from the old church
From the Byzantine time.
Since the love of God takes away the sin, man who is slain for our salvation, then brought back to life by our justification, now makes intercession for us.
इसलिए मेरा जूता है जापानी
Church of Initiation.
It's a small, nice church and several artifacts and jars from those days, mainly from the Byzantine.
It's a church where Jesus performed the first miracle, that is converting water into wine at a wedding ceremony.
Was there. Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, Jesus
his mother said to him, they have no more wife. Dear woman, why do you involve me? Jesus cried. My time has not come yet. Instead of the banquet. They did so. And the master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into
inside the church.
May this table, may it be for them blessing for those who donated something to the, or money or even to the synagogue. They get this story.
Remnants of a village from Byzantine time. This is
the main basalt stones and soil. We have it on the Golan Heights. We won't be there, but mainly Bougainvillea.
Magdala, from where
Oranges,
Mary Magdalene originated.
You're gonna have dates.
Banana plantation. The Sea of Galilee. Church at the Sea of Galilee.
Yeah.
In the Holy Land, his name was Antonio Berluzzi. And he is responsible, and he created here a lot, blessed the small community, Judeo-Christian community, because they had troubles with their fellow citizens, the Jews, and the rulers.
Sermon of the Mount was preached in this church.
He had, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth, be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And the last, blessed are you when they insult you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. Are we presenting the here to see
Franciscan hostel. The church where Jesus Christ preached the Sermon on the Mount.
Below the dome there are 8 sides.
is saying Mass.
And to him who knocks, the door will be open. Which of you, if his son asks for gives you
Plumeria.
The one to visit it. I point on it. Okay, now look at the sea in front of the city of Tiberias, where we're going to have our dinner later. It's an old city, and we speak more details about it when we get close to it. Now here's another angle of look. No, not low.
Church of the multiplication of loaves and fish. These stones for crushing olives. Taba, which is the corruption of the word Gan, meaning 7 spies. The loaf of bread which Jesus multiplied.
Touch it. Behind it is the actual place of the miracle.
Down here by tourists. They say
It's from the Nile River.
That's on that side.
Because it is believed that the water came from Nile. Going to Peter's primacy.
So top, we're all staying to the sea. In a few minutes you're going to see even the seashore. Now what's so special in this place? This is the multiplication of the loaf of bread and fish. One of the miracles. And this is come to commemorate the primacy of Peter. Primacy of Peter. He met them here and he invited them to breakfast according to the Gospels. And inside the church that was built in 1939, you see from the local stones in Basel stone, there's a rock, the bedrock. We call it in Latin Mensa Christi. Mensa Christi, come, have breakfast. And none of the disciples dared to ask him, who are you? Because they realized it was the Lord. Jesus came over and took the bread and gave it to them. And in like manner, the fish. This was said to Peter and Simon. Simon, son of Jonah. He was Jewish. Shimon ben Yonah. Simon, son of Jonah. Simon, son of Jonah. Do you love me more than these? He said to him, yes, Lord, you know that I love you, my lambs. And then he said to him, third time, Simon, son of
Capernaum where Jesus lived with Peter for about 3 years. The church here, Jesus lived with Peter for 3 years. Peter.
Peter holding the keys when it was given the primacy of the community, and the fish represents this emblem of the Christianity before the cross came. The cross is produced in the fourth and fifth.
The Star of David. Mosaic from the Byzantine time. Octagons.
Instead. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you doing it. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all too. Okay.
The ancient ruins. The synagogue of Capernaum. Capernaum, the old.
Yeah, I took it from there.
Origin is simply painted in black. Let's go to see the art of the yard here. The second hall. Circumcision ceremony. Or bar mitzvah. Still in the Jewish village. So
They perform ceremonies like bar mitzvah and
the Judeo-Christian
circumcision.
mall, and they have their own circumcision villages around the.
Old kitchen appliances.
He explains to Jesus.
And that rebellion was crushed by Hadrian. It is a milestone from his time. Very famous as a Corinthic capital over the column.
You can see a menorah on top. Something like an article. This is where the Jordan River joins the Sea of Galilee.
Or Sea of Galilee.
Reminding all the residents that
എനിക്കെന്നോ നമ്മളെ ஒரு இடத்துல இருந்து அங்க நின்னு இப்படி காமிச்சானே இந்த சைடு இஸ்ரேல் இல்லையா
The other border is
அந்த மாதிரி இடத்துல தான்
the other side of the river, Jordan River is Golan Heights.
இஸ்ரேல்னு காமிச்சான்.
שלום חברים, שלום חברים, שלום, שלום, להתראות, להתראות.
Yeah, I mean, he's also from the drive. He likes
The boat ride in the Sea of Galilee.
The town of Tiberias here, that we remind you, was founded by Herod Antipas, the son of King Herod the Great, 20 CE. All this wine ran to the water to die. It's another miracle.
Magdalena. Jesus performed the miracle of the swine over here. He transferred the madness of a woman to a herd of swine which ran to the sea and died.
Taking hostels and hotels. First, we have 5 million twice a year.
Yeah.
promenade in Tiberias. Tiberias.